Hello my pretties, the witch is back. Last week I was traveling and we had a lunar eclipse and I had a video on my smallest, least performing platform, Instagram, go viral, and I got a handful of really mean comments. And maybe it's the impending Mercury retrograde, maybe it's the current eclipse season, maybe it was the stress of travel, but it all just kind of became a lot. So today I'm going to do what I would recommend most people on the internet need to do, and that is touch some grass. And by grass, I actually mean rosemary. I have a big rosemary plant and it was recently harvested. Should I have gotten some beautiful aesthetic harvesting footage? Yep, I didn't. Here we are. Here's all of my rosemaries. It is one of, if not my favorite plant magics to work with, plant energies. So today we're just gonna make some stuff with rosemary and talk about it and touch plants. It's going to be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Rosemary is good for protection and cleansing and memory. It's also used often for love. It is associated with Athena or her Roman counterpart Minerva for memory, for wisdom, but it's also associated with Aphrodite sometimes for love. So it's very multi-purpose. It's one of those ones that I'm like, if you have nothing on hand but rosemary, you can probably find a way to work with it. It is also pet friendly. If you like it in your food, it tastes great. So a lot of different uses. I'm going to be making some rosemary brooms and some rosemary wreaths for protection. We could all use a little bit of extra protection these days. I'm taking some of my shorter rosemary. I'm just gonna wrap them around this little stick. I have a vision. Just go with me on this. Like I said, rosemary is one of my absolute favorites to work with. Even though one time I did accidentally poison myself with rosemary essential oil. It was totally not on purpose. I had an apple cider vinegar with no essential oil in it and one with essential oil in it that was supposed to be good for a scalp rinse. I mixed the two up. I took a shot of the wrong one and I had to call poison control. I was fine, but everything tasted like rosemary for 24 hours. And you would think that after that experience, I would not have a good relationship with rosemary, but I mean, maybe just the opposite. It was kind of like a weird hellscape, but I feel like, we really bonded in that 24 hours where everything just sort of tasted of rosemary. Rosemary oil itself, unless in high quantities, like anything, is not really that dangerous, but a lot of essential oils are commonly mixed with eucalyptus or other carrier oils that could potentially be scary to ingest. So I had a very embarrassing phone call with poison control that day. That is an excellent reason to always properly label and double check anything that you put into jars. I am going to be using some of this rosemary for kitchen witchcraft, for culinary purposes. I'm going to turn some into rosemary salt, but it does need to dry out a bit first. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little rosemary broom so that it can dry upside down, hanging like this. And then once it is dry, I'm going to food processor it with some coarse salt, probably like a sea salt maybe, and then leave it out on a baking sheet to kind of dry out a little bit for a few hours. And then you have a delightful tasting salt. I really like to add salt and rosemary to potatoes, or I like to also make a lot of tofu based faux meats. So using a rosemary salt is going to absolutely come in handy. Plus you can add any magical properties that rosemary can carry for you into your food with that. So look at how cutie. There's one. I'm going to make a couple of these. Some of them are going into my kitchen for culinary use down the road, but in the meantime, I will have cute little rosemary brooms to protect my kitchen with. I'm also going to make some little offerings for Athena and Aphrodite because it could be for both. I don't know if I have enough long pieces to make a little wreath, but I think that would also be really cute. to have a little circlet of rosemary. I have not tried this before, but I did one time see this idea of soup wreaths where you make like little rings of herbs that then the whole ring would go into your soup. I know we're kind of leaving soup season, but every year I think this is the year I'm gonna make soup wreaths so that you just put the whole ring into your soup, and then when you're done like making your soup, then you just pull the whole thing out of it after it's like seeped all of the flavors into your soup. One year it's gonna be soup wreath year for me. If you have done soup wreaths before, let me know. Let me know how that went for you and if you recommend it. It sounds great. Because of the association that with memory that rosemary has, the ancient Greeks also would braid rosemary into their hair, particularly during like, you know, if they were studying something, so that it would help them remember things better. So other ways that you can use rosemary is, I mean, if you're studying, if you got some exams, you got something coming up that you want to remember, you can have rosemary present while you're studying. It is said to help with memory. You can also put some rosemary underneath of your pillow, maybe in like a little bag, so that you can help remember your dreams. I believe rosemary is part of the mint family. It's associated with the sun. It's, I think, a masculine plant. I have all of the notes right here, actually. Let's see. My memory on rosemary was correct. In addition to protection, love, mental powers, it's good for exorcism and purification. It's also good for healing and sleep. Some people use it as a substitute for frankincense. Apparently it was also used in funeral rites and to contact spirits and old friends, and is also a holy water substitute. Again, I guess that makes sense with its affiliation with exorcisms. I've been visiting a lot of haunted places lately. I guess it would be good for me to know. It seems unlikely for me in my practice, but you never know. I might be able to help someone out with that information. I already have lavender that I need to harvest. It's not really the culinary type of lavender, but it will still be delightful. So if you want to see me make some things with lavender next, I'm probably going to do it anyway, but let me know in the comments so I know that it is wanted. I don't know if this wreath is wreathing on top of Mercury retrograde around the corner and us entering Aries season and lunar eclipses and solar eclipses coming up. We've got this like major eclipse event. I read that there were some huge solar flares that just happened, which also could be contributing to, like, I don't know, how people are acting, how people are treating other people, how we're reacting to things. If you've also been going through it a little bit lately and just kind of want to do something to make you feel better, for me, always doing something that is based in nature, even just harvesting some rosemary from my own garden, always makes me feel a little bit better. Everything also smells delightful. I think that probably this one will go to Athena, and then I will make Aphrodite another little rosemary broom, and then also gift her some actual rose. I think that she'll like the diversity. So this is sort of what we're working with. Oh, I lost a piece. This is why we're gonna lay it down. It's gonna go something like this around my Athena altar, like a little circlet of knowledge and memory. I'm gonna make the rest of these into brooms, and I will be right back. So I've got my little rosemary broom army. Once some of these are dry, I'm going to try to make that rosemary salt. I used to make rosemary bundles for burning by just getting my dried rosemary and wrapping them. I do have more rosemary. This is only about half of the rosemary that I've harvested, so I might do that. I've just been definitely cutting back on how much smoke I put out there because my asthma has been sensitive. But once it starts getting warm outside, I'm probably going to have more doors and windows open. I can work more with smoke cleansing. So some of these might eventually become more like burning in incense bundles, because again, rosemary is great for protection and cleansing. I feel a lot more protected, cleansed just by having worked with it alone. Thanks for hanging out. If you're gonna make your own rosemary brooms, or if you're going to cook with it or use it as an offering like I am, I'd love to hear about it if you are willing to share. Don't let a handful of internet haters get you down. Hang in there through these eclipses and Mercury retrograde. We're gonna survive it. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!